all you devils. Let's work this new format here and take a spin through our top 20. So I've just got the top 20 crypto pairs by market cap. There's very little in here that I think looks interesting at all. There's almost nothing, and I mean almost nothing in the alt space that has any technical setup that would be worth buying on any kind of time frame beyond an hour. So I'm gonna work in the 8 hour daily, 12-hour range as we go through here. Just to keep some perspective, right? I mean, we can go down to a 15-minute and wow, look at all this action, but you got to keep some perspective on this. So I'm just out here to a daily. Really? Look, until we get here, I'm just here on Cardano, right? Until we get something like this, right? Even just this, we got to get a solid motive coming out of here. This is just slop. The only justification to be a buyer down here is, well, okay, you make a case for accumulation. That's it. Looking here, even 8 hour, right? Is that enough, right? Is that enough? We're not even through the Vegas wave. It's not even worth putting a count on it. There's nothing yet. Now, yeah, let's maybe give me then the retrace maybe, right? But right, as far as I'm concerned, this is dead money at the moment. Adam, okay, so we've had a little reaction here. The Elliott count, so it's tempting. You want to go. It's tempting to think 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, maybe I got a diagonal, right? But it doesn't quite. It's maybe, all right? So, but you've got 3 longer than 1, 5 shorter than 3. So, you don't have the ideal wave relationships that you look for. Now, plus, additionally, here, just working off of the dominant, right? Trying to get that dialed in here. Okay, I'm at a 50. So maybe if you're just jonesing to get into the market, something along these lines here would be worth considering. But at the moment, it's not a time to be a buyer. You'd be, if you were looking at this thinking, okay, I kind of like the idea that I've got at least I've got a motive wave here that I can kind of back into here. Maybe. With that, okay, so just looking from the swing high to swing low, well, we can understand likely this is just algo resistance here, right? It's just a straight swing high, swing low to a 50. Now, you could talk yourself into, are we going to go that low? Well, maybe not. But before you get overly excited about anything, let it set up. So you'd have this area down here might be of interest if we come down in a nice, clear, easy to get, something along those lines. So we'd have the confluence of the geometry, right, per this channel. We'd be in the buy zone for a potential wave 2. And even there, is it going to be the 50, the golden zone here? So you'd have to potentially a modest bite here, anticipating you might be looking to add at the golden zone here. So then you build a position. Stop would need to be disciplined here. And then, right. So if you're thinking 2, well, now you're making an assumption that this is going to go 1, 2, and you're going to break through the dominant resistance here. You're going to get through the channel target here. You're going to get all the way up to a wave 3 here. That's a lot to assume just off of a retracement. So to me, I don't think there's anything to do here yet, but this is worth keeping an eye on here. So I'd want an alert perhaps here to go out to I'd want to be looking at this if we start to come down and test some of this structure. Again, kind of just looking left, right, all of that action here. Notify me when we get there, but until then, just watch list. BNB, right, kind of a disappointing play here. Let's go out to the 12-hour. What do we got there? Well, you may have to go daily, right? I don't need to put a wave count on this. What do I got? I got some sort of a 3-wave structure here, but I clear as a bell. I got 5 down. So until this resolves, there's nothing to do here. I wouldn't be a buyer here. What would you be buying into? Okay, maybe I've completed a 5. Okay, you come down to some structure here. Could you take a flyer there? Yeah, but so what? You're trying to get something along those lines here. Really, that's what the market is suggesting and implying here. So for that to change, this is going to need to do this. Right? You're going to need to see. Well, okay. First thing, I'm going to need to see a motive wave here, because if I see anything that's corrective, all I'm thinking is I've just got a B wave going in, right? So if it looks like that, right? How do you distinguish between the two? Well, with 5 down, to anticipate that you're going to get 5 up here, well, then you kind of, if you've got your Elliott hat on, now you're kind of backing into this going, okay, so could that be some sort of could we be finishing something there? Some sort of a weird, right? So given what I just had the gyrations I had to go through to think about how I might be able to anticipate something more significant here, is that good enough? Do you want to put money at risk on that? I don't. I'll wait and see what we get here. Right now, all I got is 5 down. Next, right? Not good enough for me, right? For me, I'm not trying to trade maybe if I'm just dying to get into the market, maybe you'd take something like this, right? Give me this. God damn it! Sorry, guys. Trying to go fast here. Give me this. Okay, retrace down into my buy zone. So maybe you'd play just the algo swing, right? Or maybe you play something along these lines here. Okay, so there's a little chip shot. But really, all the count is implying is that you're setting up the B wave, right? And that may not be far enough. So put the whole thing together, right? Are we gonna get beyond this? Are we going all the way up here? Well, now we're at the golden zone. You're pushing. Well, here's the 1618. So even here, you're not sure. Is it a 3 or is it a B? Right? No way to know. Right. So because it's 5 down here, the odds would suggest until this breaks that it's more likely a B, setting up the C. So, that would be, if we did something like this, we're out here now, we're talking about April. This is, right? Is this as a major player, right? Something that would be representative of the alt space. If this is going to do that's not looking good for alts, right? Now, again, nothing says that it must do that. But right now, I'd be a buyer here. Nope, maybe here. Bitcoin, all right, we'll do a deep dive on this probably on Friday here, but even just coming down here, what do we have here, right? Nobody knows what we've got here. This is difficult to have any confidence in your count here. So part of the problem is here, and I'm seeing a lot of counts like this, where it's almost like they're going, well, that's inconvenient to have to count that, so I'm just going to call this the 1-2. No, you can't. Right? You open that up. That's a clear swing here. You can't just ignore it. You can't go A, B, C, right? It's not any sort of diagonal. So you got to work that first swing. 1-2. Okay, well then I got to go 1-2 again. 3-4 maybe, right? It's far enough. So if you're thinking, okay, maybe that's the 1-2, bring this over. Okay, well there's the 1618. So am I going to live with this little baby 4? Right? The symmetry's way off. So then you think, could that be the 4 there? Well, here now we got 1618 again, right? So, that's how I chose those, right? Because I'm trying to, where's the probability, where are the likely zones? So if I finish here, right? So the first thing that we're dealing with here, if this is correctly identified as our X wave here, well, we need an ABC, not just a 5 down. So if this is 3, 4, is that 5? Really, really hard to call that anything other than a 3. Right, it's really a force fit to try and call that a 5. Right now, maybe if we just rip off from where we're back here going, oh fuck, maybe there's some way to get it. But right now, again, is it good enough to put money at risk? Is this a 1-2? Right? Is this the 5? Well, even if this were the 5, and all we've done here, if we end up having to label that the 5, which my bet is we won't. So but even so, then that's just the A wave, right? So then we'd be looking for the B, but it's all implying we still need another leg down for the C, right? That's per the Elliott count. Now, again, Elliott counts are not inevitabilities, but right now, how do you finish this, right? If that's the X, how are we finishing down here? Could you bastardize the count somehow? Probably. But again, good enough to put money on the line? Well, we did show this in the room. We had this perfect, right? So the members, you guys have all seen this, right? So we had the perfect golden corner here, right? So we had, algos are still in here. Right? They didn't leave just because it didn't look great. So here, we looked here. I get it right on that. So we have a bit of a miss here on the median line. Right, so where are we going with that? So now, right now, we're getting a little kick today in crypto. So pushing up to the median line, not uncommon for us to come. Jesus Christ, trading view, for this to come up here and kind of wiggle a little bit around the line, right? As it makes a decision as to, are we retracing? Now, something like that, now it starts to get more interesting. But right now, is it A, B? Is this the B going in here, right? Is that the B of the 4? Well, so I've seen, some people suggesting that. Well, but look at the size of the 4, right? If that were going to be the 4 relative to the 2, right? That's some horrible symmetry, right? So could that be it? Yeah, could be. Right? Again, you want to put money at risk there? I don't. Why? I'm in no hurry here. If this is going to really, if we're going to fly here, right? If we're going to go up here and say, oh, it looks like, hey, I got a 1618. We start to retrace. Now we get a motive wave here. Maybe you're back here looking at how to make that fit, but right now, the odds do not suggest that we're done here. Right? It's very hard to get a count that accommodates, if you're disciplined about the Elliott structure, to give this anything other than a label of an X. Very hard to see something else that would work there, that wouldn't be, dramatically more bearish. So if this is our X, tough to get an ABC out of this. Right, it's nowhere here. Certainly, you can't go A, B, C. Right, that's right. So you'd be trying to get your C wave in that. Again, right? Is it possible? Of course, right? Anything's possible, but good enough to bet on. This, right? We posted this for you guys in the room, right? So that's an easy one, right? So there's just a golden corner, but you're not trying to. You're not position trading here. That's just a little punchy single there, right? Up. So we just tagged them literally to the tick. There's algo target. Now, what happens there? We wait and see. But the longer term count here, I'm on a 3 hour. The longer term count, hard to see how this is our bottom. Right, so we'll do a deeper dive on that. EOS out to the 12 hour, right? Is that 1, 2? No, it's not even worth a count. Until we get some structure here, maybe I got to start at something, but I'm not worried about missing anything here. That's a very deep retracement. So is it internal? Yes, it's internal. Okay, so potentially swing internal retracement. But this is, again, just like I said before, with all these others, this is going to need to look a whole, look, this is all, and even that's going to set up that. So what's the hurry? All right, I don't want to miss it. Well, how about we get on the other side of the Vegas wave? How about we just break a simple trend line that's sitting there? Until then, every one of these moves has been false break. Now, of course, at some point, right, something's going to break, right? If we're going to get a bull, something like that's going to happen. So it has to start somewhere. But wouldn't you feel better if you got a solid, ideally an impulse here, and then you were able to get the correction on it? Now we're talking. Until then, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's already just looking at it. 3, 4. Is that the 5? Are we still going? It's not. It's too. Who knows? Right? Not good enough to put money at risk. Ethereum, same issue. Yeah, I can get clear 5 down. There's my B. Is that? Are we done here? Okay, maybe. Right? I mean, I've got some Ethereum in my bags, right? But give me that before I'm adding. There's no hurry here. Nothing here. As long as we're in this channel, all this is setting up is, looks like we've just got a simple retracement. Even if I use the secondary pivot here. Right. The first thing, can we get through that golden zone? Right. We got to do that. Until then, unless you're out scalping, you're working off of the 15-minute and the 30, which I do not advise. It's not the method we would encourage you to pursue, right? That's someone who's jonesing for a trade. Man, I got to be trading. Man, I'm a trader now. I got to get in. Yeah, you come down to the 15-minute, all sorts of shit to do here, right? The lowest probability trading down here. Algo's down here? Of course. Yeah, of course they are. We got anything here? There's a 38, maybe, right? Where you got a 2, you don't have much. There's a golden zone, third target. I mean, yeah, can you trade down here? Yeah. A little perspective, probably not a bad idea, even an 8 hour. Does that look great? Do you want to buy right into that as we approach? Here we are at the Vegas wave, coming up to the 38, got this down sloping channel resistance. Do I want to buy right into that? I don't. Why? Market's got to prove itself here, right? Right? We've had plenty of these little breaks that look like maybe. Until then, nothing. Leo, I don't even know what's on here. Sorry, link Bitcoin. You know, is there a count here? Probably. Is it clear? No. I mean, we have this, right? So swing low, swing high, golden zone, right? That's not accidental, right? So that's clear algo participation. So we know they're responsive here. You can just look at this and go, okay, I can see the structure. See what happened. Low volume divot, right? Before we got to the support, kicks it up. Well, right, so given that, the Elliott count, not clear. Could we put one on there? Yeah, of course, right? But is it helping me? Not really. So if I'm coming down here, where am I? Well, I'm in the buy zone here. So again, so maybe that's an ABC. Does that look like we finished in 5? Maybe. Right? I'd like it a little bit better, a little bit lower, right? So you got that. So could be that if you were looking for the little scalping action there, here I'm on a 12-hour, maybe. But am I particularly worried about missing a moonshot here? Not really. Not really. One to be watching, but I don't think you need to be running into the market right there. Link to the dollar, Tether, same kind of situation. Could be. Do we have a 1-2? Maybe. Right, but at the moment, until the market breaks through that resistance, right? How are you calling this anything other than corrective, right? Until we get a 5. So do you want to buy right into that? Right into the Vegas wave? Maybe you're thinking 1-2. Maybe it's 1-2, 1-2. Mighty deep for the 2. Is it an internal retracement? Yeah, it's internal. Right, but what are we trading off of here? Structure? You know, the end of the value area here coming down to the lower edge. Okay, wait, how far did we go? Well, there's the 786. It looks like that's even beyond the 887. Oh, shit. Here, let's get the 887 on there. 887, I mean, that's mighty deep, right? So the odds now of this going to a full 3 reduced, right? And certainly it's not going to go straight. So because of the depth here, we got a lot of work to do. So this is going to need to show some shape. So that's going to need to do something along these lines. You're going to need to get through that, right? Then maybe you're coming down here. Then we're now see so much time, so much work has to go into that price action before I'm worried about missing something, right? Get this. Right? While it's possible, right, of course, we could do this. Is that likely, right? Trading, it's just about probabilities, right? Is that you think that's probable? Is it possible? Yes. Probable? No. Litecoin? Okay, simplify. Right? Is there something to work with here? You know, yeah, you can complicate the hell out of that, right? But really, A, B, C, I hit the 100. Okay, maybe I got something, right? So the 100, that's encouraging. So maybe I've got a pivot down here. Is it internal? Yeah, it's internal. Is that a great looking position to be a buyer? Well, I mean, right, just working off the B, right? First, we got to get up here and get through all of this resistance. Again, what's the hurry? No reason to jump in here. Yeah, so it's great, good to see crypto up a little bit. I'm not dying to jump into anything there. Neo, same problem. An ugly, maybe you call that a 1-2, right? You had this kind of wacky, you know, it's a bit of a stretch here, right? You had to bend some rules here to call this a leading diagonal, right? You did have 3 longer than 1, 5 longer than 3, but we don't. This is a big miss here on the 3 for that symmetry to work. Maybe, right? Mighty deep for a 2. So are you thinking 1-2? Okay, maybe, but. Let's get it to develop a little bit more. Again, I'm not worried about this just mooning here. Right? It's plenty of opportunity if this is gonna, right? If we're going back to test these, look, context, right? If we're going up here, I'm not worried about missing anything. Same here. Not even worth a count. What do you got to work with there? Right? Other than, well, if it's going to survive, I mean, it's awfully damn low. Why? It looks like that's 5 down. Why do you want to be a buyer there? I don't. Right? Nothing. Right? Okay. Keep me posted on TRX. Right? I'll keep it on the list. Stellar. I mean, it's not even worth a count, right? So until this thing starts to move, right? It's certainly way too late to be a seller. No reason to be a buyer yet. right? Love to see it go. I've seen nothing yet. Monero, right? Again, what do you have to work with there? Nothing. There's no reason to be a buyer here. So you come down to the hourly, you think, whoa, look at that. Okay, all right. So what? Let's try and get some context there. What is it? Right? Is maybe okay. So here you got a base. You got a base down here. Okay, so we got a little base. All right. So is that 1, 2? I don't know about that. Right? That's a bit of a stretch. So maybe you got something impulsive here. So if it is, if you're hot for this project, right? You don't want to be a buyer when it's going up, right? I should say what I'm looking for is the retracement. I don't want to pay full retail. Put it on sale, right? Then, right? Maybe something like that, but put that in context, guys. Right? A lot has to happen here. Not the least of which is getting through the resistance that will be here, right? So get that dialed in. Pretty good on a free draw, right? So, if we can get up to that, right, there's going to be resistance there. So, again, could it get through? Of course. But what's more probable? We do something along these lines. Boom. That's the one you're waiting for, where you have some confidence in it. Right now, who fucking knows what that is? Is that enough, right? So, the retrace here, again, if you're just jonesing for a trade, okay, let it retrace. Maybe point of control. Okay, well, there's plenty of volume there. Maybe that's where the support is. So we just look. Oh, God damn it, that's annoying. So we just look over here. All right, so here's the base of support, right? So it's kind of tied to all of this volume here. Okay, come up and retrace back to point of control. All right, that might be interesting. Right, at least we can define the risk pretty clearly. I wouldn't go heavy there. But if we get a move like that and then we get something corrective off of that, then now you're thinking, okay, now I could be a little more aggressive here because I have clear sense of okay, I can identify the count. I can see the corrective action. We're coming back here to prior support. We've got all this support back here. Then, right, so even then, what you're looking for is that. That's the trade right there. Right, you're trying to get into the three of the, well, that could be the three of the one of the three. You're not assuming that's going off to new highs, right? But we got to get a motive wave out of here. Until then, yeah, it's just the alts don't look great, right? So now, could that improve? Sure, but at the moment, there's better asset classes to be pursuing, guys. All right, there's a wrap up for the day. Okay, talk to you later.